DuPont analysis. So DuPont analysis was introduced by a company called DuPont in 1920. So we don't need to go into the history and geography of the DuPont analysis. We need to understand what's the objective. What's the purpose of using a DuPont analysis? DuPont analysis breaks down return on equity into three different categories, which means it looks return on equity from three different dimensions. It divides the return on equity into three different components. So solely relying on return on equity as an investment indicator is a kind of bit of vague that I've already discussed in my previous video. So let's understand what DuPont sees in return on equity. So what it does is it divides the return on equity into three different categories. The first one is your net margin. The second one is the efficiency ratio or the turnover ratio, the asset turnover ratio. The third one is the leverage ratio. So net margin ratio specifies, for example, if you made a sale of rupees 100, how much you are going to get, or what is the return that you want to provide to the shareholders out of a rupee 100 sale. For example, if the net margin is 10%, which means from rupees 100 you were able to save 10 rupees for the equity shareholders. I'm assuming there is no preference dividend, so this is easy for me to explain these things. So there is no preference dividend at all, any dividend distribution tax. So this is after tax, which means if you're making a sale of rupees 10, you're able to save rupees 10 for the equity shareholders. So the second ratio is the efficiency ratio, how efficiently you're utilizing your assets. For example, if you're making, if your total sales is 100, but your total asset is 200, which means you're able to if you're able to exploit your asset only to the tune of 50%, which means if there are 100 rupees of assets, you're able to use it only. You are able to generate only 50 rupees of sales from them, which means for every 1 rupee of investment in your fixed in your total asset, you would be able to generate only 0.5 rupees of sales. And your leverage ratio, how much your firm is levered. So this can be explained through the help of an example. So